Hey y'all. So, all last week, while our media, the lamestream media, uh, fake news, American media was focusing on gossip and he said, she said, and this, that, and the other. They were parading Macron around once again, trying to act like he's the best thing since sliced bread. And all along, the story they're not telling you is that once again, we have massive protest in France because Macron can't even get his own country together. But let's take a look at this and then we'll talk about it. First, we'll start with this story that I'm sure that you guys probably remember from last week that were all over the airwaves. Everybody was talking about this nothing story.
President. Yeah, as if he's a joke. They're talking about him. It's the truth.
You know, the whole payoff here of his style.
When people are laughing at you, that means you're the joke. He's the brunt of a joke right there. And the irony here, he's the one who's always making fun of people, coming up with pet names.
So we were heavily bombarded with this story. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about, you also remember the story about Macron versus Trump and NATO, this, that, and the other. And the whole time, France is gearing up for protests against pension reforms.
Whole France's pension system, thousands of people have hit the streets in protest. The government is looking to streamline the 42 existing sector-specific pension schemes and ensure that pensions paid are reflective of time worked. For many, this is unacceptable.
We're here today for us, for other public servicemen and for others who cannot protest today but would like to.
We are here because us retired people also need to make demands. It's more than 8 years since we have had any raise in pensions.
At least 6,000 police officers have been deployed in Paris, where before a mass march had even begun.
So y'all see what's going on there. We're talking about massive protests spanning across several cities in France, spanning across several professions. Let's take a look at this article real quick from BBC.com. Macron pension reform, France paralyzed by biggest strike in years. France's largest nationwide strike in years has severely disrupted schools and transport. Workers are angry about planned pension reforms that would see them retiring later or facing reduced payouts. More than 800,000 workers from a wide range of professions demonstrated against the changes. Some cities saw clashes between protesters and police. President Emmanuel Macron wants to introduce a universal, I love when they use that word, universal points-based pension system that will replace France's current system, which has 42 different pension schemes across its private and public sectors with variations in retirement age and benefits. Let's take a look at this, and I'm going to drop the article below if you guys want to go back and read the whole article. Macron's unified system, which he says would be fairer, right? Even though you're going to basically screw your middle class here, will reward employees for each day worked, awarding points that will later be transferred into future pension benefits. The official retirement age has been raised in the last decade from 60 to 62, but remain one of the lowest among the OECD group of rich nations in the UK. For example, the retirement age for state pensions is 66 and is due to rise to at least 67. The move would remove the most advantageous pensions for a number of jobs, ranging from sailors to lawyers and even opera workers. Meanwhile, those retiring before 64 will receive a lower pension. For example, someone retiring at 63 will receive 5% less, so unions fear it will mean having to work for longer for a lower pension. A recent poll concluded that 75% of the people that thought that pension reforms were necessary, but only a third believed the government could deliver them. So basically, you have all these people paying into the system for years, right? Now they're being told that basically they're going to be screwed out of their money. Not only are you going to have the chance of working longer, your pension is also going to decrease. So people are mad. People are in the streets. We're talking thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. We're talking lawyers, hospital staff, police, airport staff. So much so, the transportation is being shut down. The schools are being shut down. You have people, visitors, people traveling, not being able to get access to attractions and stuff like this. We're talking major protests, okay? All for a pension reform. This is the second time they paraded Macron around as some type of hero in our media while these protests are going on. I did videos previously about the yellow vest protests where people were protesting, transportation workers were protesting against this fuel tax. Who are we talking about here? Who are the jobs that we're talking about? These are middle class, blue collar jobs that are being screwed over. Don't even get me started on France still having their hands in Africa with this colonial tax. So people want to know, where's the money? Where's the money going? So that leads me to ask, why? Why does the mainstream media continue to parade Macron around, hail him as some type of hero, while all these protests are happening? Not only that, they suppress the information about the protests in our media. They don't talk about it. Could it possibly be that there is already something taking place right now in the American spirit of people? Across political ideology, you have so many people in this moment pushing back against the establishment. People are realizing that they're being conned, they're being lied to, they're being conned out of their money under terms like universal and fair. And it is hurting, once again, the middle class. This seems to be a worldwide issue, a thing that maybe most of us have more in common than we would like to believe. So what gives? Is there this belief that we're gonna see this and be like, hey, something's happening here too? So it's a reason. It's a reason why our media continues to dumb us down. It's a reason why these talking heads, these media personalities protect these politicians, okay? And people are looking for the oligarchs, the elitists, the corruption, the swamp, whatever you want to call it, all of the corrupt people are looking for them to be pushed out. And this is the reason why they don't talk about that. But they'll take 15-minute segments to tell you about how leaders of the world are laughing at Trump. But those are my thoughts. Leave your thoughts below. If you like to support my content, Also, you can become a Patreon today. Just click the link below. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.